Hello and welcome to Spardha Lines, your one-stop destination for the civil services preparation. As we have told you in the past 2 days, we have started a new initiative in the form of daily news analysis with focus on your KAS examination. In all likelihood, the state government of Karnataka may release a notification for the recruitment position for the KAS KPSC examination. So in that particular backdrop, we will be focusing more on the KAS examinations. We will be coming up with multiple MCQs, all those topics that are required from your mains related answer writing as well. So the focus will be on MCQs and the answer writing. So what are you waiting for? Hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share it with your fellow aspirants as well. Let's get started and look into the first MCQ and the first article for the day. Kerman, recently seen in news, is part of which country? Syria, Iran, Jordan or Egypt? The answer to this is Iran. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to Kerman. What happened in Kerman in Iran? About 103 were killed in twin blasts at a memorial event in Iran. So what we have is a twin blast that took place in Kerman in Iran, and which is why this becomes important from your map based questions. So there are places in news which you have to remember. One is on the international front, the other is on the domestic front. In the international front, you should be having an awareness about, let's say for example, there is a natural calamity that occurs, or there is a disaster that strikes, or there is a political manifestation that takes place. In all these instances, you have to know the city, you also have to know the country, you have to know the sea if at all it is present in and around it, and at the same time, you should also know the capital, north to south assignment, east to west alignment. If at all these questions is asked, you should be in a position to answer them. Why? Because in the past UPSC and KPSC have asked questions like that. So what are we speaking about? We are speaking about Kerman. Where is Kerman? Kerman happens to be in the state of Iran. So it is on the southern part of Iran, on the eastern part of Iran. So this can be probably asked in your preliminary examination. What happened in Kerman? There was an event that was taking place in Iran. So in this place, what we have is a twin attack that has taken place, and as a result, many people have passed away. So this happens to be one of the terrorist act, but who has conducted this activity is yet not known in the instant case. Now let's look into the next article and the practice question. Which of the following awards are bestowed by the Madras Music Academy? Nritya Kalanidhi, Sangeeta Kala Acharya, TTK, Sangeeta Kalanidhi, as well as Musicologist Awards, which are bestowed by the Madras Music Academy. The answer to this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to Nritya Kalanidhi Award. So the Nritya Kalanidhi Award is an award that is given by the Madras Music Academy. We did discuss about yesterday where we also have another singing award that is given by the Madras Music Academy. So the Madras Music Academy basically gives about 5 awards. Which are these? One is Nritya Kalanidhi, second is Sangeeta Kala Acharya, third is TTK, fourth is Sangeeta Kalanidhi, fifth happens to be other musicologist awards. So we have Sangeeta Kalanidhi, which happens to be the award that is given by the Madras Music Academy. Similarly, it also gives other awards where they have contributed a lot to the music, to the dance, so on and so forth. So this award in the instant case has been given to one of the dancers. So this has been conferred on Vasanthalakshmi. That apart, this article also makes a reference to a couple of important classical art forms as well. So which are the classical art forms that this article mentions of? It mentions Kuchipudi. Where is Kuchipudi from? Kuchipudi is from the state of Kerala. Then we have Kathak. Where is Kathak practiced in? Kathak we did discuss recently is about Katha, is about storytelling. Where is it present? It is present in the northern part of India. Then we have Yakshagana. Yakshagana is practiced in the state of Karnataka. So this happens to be a folk drama dance, and this is from the state of Karnataka. This can be another important factor from the preliminary examination point of view. And finally, what we have is Mohiniyattam, and Mohiniyattam happens to be one of the forms from the state of Kerala. So all these are very, very important from your preliminary examination point of view. Now let's look into the next practice question. This article here is important from your mains related article. What is this article speaking about? This article here is speaking about the extra constitutional power that is being given to the income tax department in the instant case. What is the author trying to speak? The author in this case speaks about two important parameters. One is about privacy. The second is about extra constitutional power that is given to the institution as well as to authorities. First, let us speak about privacy. When we speak about privacy, we have one of the landmark judgments delivered by the Supreme Court of India in the landmark judgment of Puttaswamy judgment. In the Puttaswamy judgment, the Supreme Court went on to clarify that we have Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution speaks about right to life and personal liberty. It is this right and personal liberty, right to life and personal liberty, which has been given various facets and has also been explained in number of interpretations. We have Article 19, we have Article 14, we have Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, which are called as the golden triangle of the fundamental rights. Why? Because these are the most important fundamental rights. In that, Article 21 happens to be the most important. That is because it is giving you the life. It is exercising certain powers to you. And at the same time, when we speak about Article 21, it has various facets of it. For example, if I say right to life, it also means right to drinking water. Why drinking water? If at all a person is not able to drink clean drinking water, will he be able to lead his life? No. So Article 21 has various facets of it, which is about right to life. Right to life also includes right to drinking water, right to clean environment as well. What if you are inhaling toxic gases? In that particular case, would you be able to lead a life with dignity? No. Why? Because if you are inhaling a lot of toxic gases, in that case you would not be able to breathe easy, and that is not going to help your life as well. So right to life includes right to health, right to education. It also includes right to peaceful living as well as privacy. So this was clarified by the Supreme Court of India that in the year 2017 it said that privacy is also an aspect of Article 21, and as a result it has to be recognized under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, said the Supreme Court of India. So whenever we speak about Supreme Court of India and the privacy, what is most important? That there is a certain level of respect for individual identity and for those things which are very intricate to a person. Now what if there is one institution, let's say for example the income tax department. The income tax department under section 132 of the Income Tax Act of 1961 has given powers to the institutional authorities to go and conduct a raid. It also has power to go and do certain seizures as well, and they would also be able to seize some of the properties in that particular area. Now this is where the author goes on to say that this power that is given to the income tax department, where they would be able to conduct a raid, where they would be able to seize certain products or certain other goods from this particular area, is a violation principle of privacy. So the Puttaswamy judgment until 2017, it was a different story because privacy was not explicitly maintained as part of Article 21. But with the Puttaswamy judgment in place, what do the income tax authorities do? They directly barge into the people's houses. They start looking for commodities or for goods, and they start questioning the people, and at the same time they are also given leverage under the law that they would be able to retain this individual for a very long period of time. So is it not violating the privacy? Sometimes they are asked to open their rooms, they are asked to open some of their phones as well, they are asked to open their laptops as well. They start questioning about the sources. Questioning about the sources is fair and fine, but is it right? Because this ultimately is violating the privacy of an individual who need not have to reveal such information. And at the same time, if you go back to prior to 1947, we did not have any such law for that that matter, the income tax authorities or the authorities who would be investing about violation of income tax had very limited and existential power. They did not have the power to ensure that they go about seizing or inquiring a lot about that person's individual life. So all that they had were powers with respect to the discovery, all that they had were powers with respect to the inspection, examination of the witnesses, so on and so forth. And up until 1961 as well, this power was also restricted by the Supreme Court of India. They did not have so much or humongous amounts of power that the gravity had increased that they would be able to seize a certain product. That power did not yield with the income tax officials. But right now, with the passing of 1961 Act, there has been a new interpretation taken by the Supreme Court of India that they would be able to do so. They would be able to do so primarily because of the social security, primarily because of the social welfare schemes and programs, primarily because the government is expecting the people to pay the income taxes whose money would be used for the social welfare schemes and programs. So in 1961, the court did upheld the constitutionality of section 132 of the Income Tax Act, primarily because the court felt that if at all people don't pay the taxes, they would not be able to, the government would not be able to execute social security, government programs, so on and so forth. How does the government get its money? It is through the income tax. It is through the taxes paid by the people. If at all people or the officials are not given enough amount of power to conduct these seizure activities, they would not be able to get the money from the people, and ultimately the social security, the social welfare will face the loss. So this article primarily goes on to say that we have couple of issues that are present. So one such issue is with respect to the investigating officers, that they have too much of powers. So 1961, the Supreme Court came with a judgment. It upheld this law that the amount or gravity or the magnitude of power given to such income tax officials is right. However, when you look at this particular area, now we are in 2023 and 24, and in the year 2023 and 24, what we have is new judgments that have been put forward by the Supreme Court of India, where privacy is one of the important aspects. So what was leveraged or what was thought about in 1961 and subsequently after that still does not hold water, says the author. Why? That is because in 1961, privacy was not part of Article 21. It was not part of right to life and personal liberty, but in this particular case, it is part of life and personal liberty. So as a result, what we have is this particular intention of the author, who now goes on to say that yes, privacy is important as part of Article 21. So because privacy is part of Article 21, the IT officials need to follow due process. They cannot just barge into an individual, retain that individual for a very long period of time, and ultimately cannot ensure that this person's privacy is violated. So if at all an argument is made that this is about public order, so on and so forth, this is for the welfare of the country, yes, that is important, but not at the cost of privacy. If at all certain documents are being leveraged, certain documents are being asked, then it should be with the process of law, where court permission will have to be taken, is what is this article all about. Now let's look into the next article. This article says palm oil imports hit 4-month high in December. What is this article speaking about? The article here is speaking about palm oil. What is palm oil? It happens to be an edible vegetable oil derived from mesocarp, reddish pulp of the fruit of the oil palms. The oil is used in the food manufacturing, in beauty products, as well as a biofuel. So this palm oil is imported world over, and India happens to be one of the largest importers of the palm oil. So the palm oil that is imported from other countries is used for the food manufacturing, it is used for the food products, and it is also used for the biofuel as well. So a certain part of the palm oil is also used for biofuels, and this can be used as a fuel in the vehicles. Palm oils are easier to stabilize and maintain quality of flavor and consistency in ultra processed foods, so are frequently favored by the food manufacturers. When we speak about the palm oil, India does grow palm oil and India extracts the palm oil as well, but most of it is from outside the country. Which are the countries which manufactures most of the palm oil? What we have is Indonesia, and that apart, what we have is Malaysia. So these two are the countries which are the most important countries that you have to remember when it comes to palm oil. So Indonesia and Malaysia are the top two countries which produce a lot of palm oil, and India imports more than 40% of palm oil from these two countries as well. There is one concern with respect to the palm oil. Despite having its various advantages that it has, for example, it is used in the food industry, it is used in the beauty products, it is also used in the biofuel. One thing that we have to remember is that there is a lot of issues when it comes to Indonesia. How? That is because there is a lot of deforestation that is taking place. What is deforestation? Deforestation is a particular concept where plants or trees are felled off. So these trees that are present in the forest areas are chopped off, and ultimately these palm oil plants and the trees come into the picture. So in all those areas where there have been forests, where there have been trees that are grown in the forest, these trees are chopped off, and ultimately palm trees and palm oil producing trees are in fact planted in this particular area. This happens to be a major problem. That apart, there are also exploitative labor practices that has been used in Indonesia and Malaysia. However, palm oil is preferred because it is inexpensive, and also palm oil produce more than some of the other vegetables. That is why this happens to be important. So India's palm oil imports rose in December to their highest in 4 months as purchases of refined palmine surged because of the competitive prices, and high purchases by the world's biggest importer of the vegetable oils could help lower palm oil stocks in top producers, which happens to be Indonesia and Malaysia. These are some of the important facts that you have to remember from the preliminary examination and the mains examination point of view. Now let's look into the next article. This article says, why is upskilling necessary for the rural youth? This can be important from your mains related examination point of view. What is this article speaking about? To give you a gist of what this article is, you have number of people who are now moving towards the urban areas. So those people who were in the rural areas are moving towards the urban areas because of more opportunities in the urban areas, and as a result, most of the people in the near future will be in the urban areas, leaving behind the rural areas, leaving behind the villages, and as a result, one of the primary sectors happen to be agriculture. It could face a major detriment. Is what is this article all about? So this article basically goes on to say that as much as people are moving towards urban areas, they should be allowed to go back to the rural areas. They should stick to their rural areas, and they should be allowed to prosper in their own areas. This is where the author brings into picture two important parameters. One is we have to revamp the agriculture sector. So we have to ensure that more subsidies are provided to agricultural sector, more incentives are provided to the agricultural sector. If agricultural sector sees a mushroom or a growth, why would people want to grow to the urban areas? So incentives will have to be provided, subsidies should have to be provided, and these people should be able to make more profits as well. And as a result, what we have is upskilling, which has to be done in the agricultural sector. That apart, you have a particular period of time where people are not employed in the agricultural sector. Since they are not employed in the agricultural sector, they would also want to work and earn the money as well. So during this period, upskilling or providing them the new skill can be taken up. So closer to home, organizations such as NIIT Foundation and Pratham Institutes are working with children in rural areas to provide upskilling opportunities. Hybrid life skilling programs are offered both by NIIT in collaboration with UNICEF through its self-learning platform. And that apart, what we have is an initiative of the Delhi government which is called as the Skills on the Wheel. What is the Skills on the Wheel? In case there are people who are wanting to learn a new skill, there will be these people who would go to that particular region to help them understand and learn that particular skill. Instead of people going to a particular place, you have people going to that place and treating them, teaching them and explaining them on a professional front so that they can acquire a new skill set. It is this that we have to understand with respect to this article. Now let's look into the next article. This article here is taken from the Indian Express newspaper. The article here is speaking about Square Kilometre Array project. This happens to be a tie-up between India and other nations, where basically they would wish to develop world's largest radio telescope called as Square Kilometre Array project, which will study galaxies in the universe. The SKA project will be a group of radio telescopes operating out of South Africa and Australia in 2 radio frequency ranges, and the Square Kilometre Array Observatory is a new intergovernmental organization dedicated to radio astronomy. Where is it headquartered? It is headquartered in the United Kingdom, and there are about 10 countries which participate in this entire process, which includes Australia, Canada, China, India, Italy, New Zealand, South Africa, Sweden and the Netherlands participating. The Union Cabinet has even participated in the SKA project and has approved a financial support of 1250 crores. These new telescopes will scan the skies. They will look into the skies, scan this entire cloud area and understand visible galaxies in detail, and the project aims to make available data about the evolution of the galaxy. Once it is collecting data from the galaxy, how did this entire universe origin? They will try and understand about it. The SKA Observatory will provide deep insights into the early days of evolution of our galaxy, and the telescope will also search for signs of life outside Earth. The SKA will be built in 2 phases in both places, with the first phase of construction of SKI having started in 2022, and the next phase will start its operation in the year 2029. These are some of the important factors that you have to remember from the preliminary examination point of view. It is this that you have to understand. And if you are liking these initiatives, please do hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share it with your fellow aspirants as well. Thank you for watching. All the best.